Korea. And some people are probably wondering, like, what is Global Top Gun? Because sometimes when I tell people I went to Global Top Gun, like, great, what is it? So Global Top Gun is basically a youth program that True Mother has started. This is I think the third or fourth one. This is my first one. And this is where youth from all over the world who feel inspired to come to this attend. At the same time, they don't just teach you how to be a leader, but they teach you about True Parents and True Parents' Heart and True Parents' Life course. So you do have quite a few lectures, and they are long, but they're more in depth. I learned things about True Mother's Life course that I haven't heard before. And it's still being funny. Okay, I'll keep talking. And so because you go to this and you start learning about True Parents, those who may have had a rocky foundation or a rocky start, they wind up leaving thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much I didn't know. There's so much I didn't learn. So now they want to study more, and now they want to share it more with their communities. From my experience, since this was my first time, a lot of firsts happened for me. One was becoming a family leader. That was the very first experience for me. It wasn't chosen by the staff. It was actually chosen by the members of my family. They found out that I could speak some Japanese, I could speak some Korean, so like, okay, family leader, you, go. I was like, oh, okay, great. So I thought I only had 5 people in my family, but then when I go to talk to the staff, like, actually, you have 10 people. I'm like, oh, I can do this, it's okay, I'll be fine. So we had 2 Koreans, 2 Japanese, 1 person from Albania, 1 from Uruguay, 1 from the Philippines, 1 Canadian, and then 2 Americans, myself, and another person. But they made it easy for me because they're actually really heartwarming people. And so I was able to easily kind of get into this role of being a family leader. The best part about it was I was called Oma of my family. In Korean, that means mother. And we had a father figure. His name was Appa. So our family really was a family. We called each other Oma, Appa, and then everyone else calls each other Dongseng or Nam Dongseng. And is it working? Oh no, technology. And basically, my biggest experience was not only learning to be a family leader, but also learning about True Parents' Heart. We went on a pilgrimage, and that's 3 days, 11 places. It's quite a lot of bus time, a lot of nap time, and a lot of what am I eating time. Or when are we eating time. And for the first few days, we went to Pajuwanjan, which is the funeral grounds of the True family. And we also went to Champaron headquarters. For me, those 2 I've gone to before, so I was very excited to go back to it again. But then we went to Mungyong, I'm going to try and say this right. Mungyong, yes. Mungyong Seje. I'm sorry. I am not Korean. But so for me, that was the hardest one because here in Las Vegas, we have very flat land. We don't really have a whole lot of mountains and stairs to climb up. Oh, yay, it works. Great. So I guess you can click on... Can you go to this one, actually? Do you see my finger? Yeah, just click on that. Oh, jeez. Technology is wonderful. Okay, so let's start over. We went to Imjimgak first. That actually was not on the list of the Holy Pilgrimage, but we went on there because what they told us that is similar to the DMZ. We're actually right beyond that gate is North Korea. That's how close we were. And you can turn the sound off, it's okay. No, go back. Okay, anyway, let's forget about that. And so basically at Imjimgak, it was a little bit of a bittersweet moment because you get to put a ribbon on the fence, you get to walk to the shops and buy things, you get to pet a cat in the middle of the road. But in North Korea, they don't have that. And that's the sad part. In North Korea, you can actually look over and see that there's barbed wire everywhere. And it's still active because actually just before I took that picture, a soldier had walked by on the North Korean side. And he had his gun ready, locked and loaded. And I was standing there like, oh no. I'm not ready to go yet. And even on the way there, tanks, all the tanks are just driving down the road like a daily thing. And so that hit me pretty hard. And then if you go to the next one, the next picture. This is Sodom prison. We got to experience this one. This hit a lot of us pretty hard in the chest. True Father spent 90 days here on the second floor, so this floor, in cell number 20. And, you know, you read about it in stories, you read about it in autobiography, you read about it in lectures, or you hear about it in lectures. But when you actually go there, it looks just like a Holocaust. It looks just like it, no different. And then what hit me pretty hard is when you go downstairs, because there's a basement level, that's the torture chamber. They have all the torture chambers laid out. Water torture, nail torture, hanging your body kind of torture, locking you in a coffin torture, all of them. And then to think Chief Father spent 90 days enduring all of that for the sake of us. We couldn't leave without going into his cell, so we all went into his cell. We crowded it, so we actually blocked a lot of other tour groups. But we stood in his cell and we prayed, and a lot of us cried because we didn't feel as if we were worthy enough to receive the kind of love that True Father gave us, the kind of dedication that he put and pain that he put his body through so that we could be here, so that we could be just attending Global Top Gun. It was a very emotional moment for us. And if we go to the next picture, please. This one was hard for me because, as I mentioned, here it's all flat. We're going with Moongyong Satseje. It is almost vertical. So when you have to walk up almost vertical when you're used to this, it's a lot of hard breathing and pauses along the road. But what made it difficult is that when we got to the final ending point here, we actually had to carry one of our family members all the way this road up into these trees here. And it was difficult because a lot of my family members, they were already going, and I was asked to carry everyone's kind of luggage, backpack. And I felt kind of unworthy. And I also felt like, you know, how would I survive if I was alive during a time when True Father had to carry his disciple? Would I be one of those that made it across? Would I be one of those that died? Would I be one of those who followed the Messiah all the way to the end? Or would I be too burdened to move forward? And for most of this path, that's how I felt. Even at the end of it, I felt that way. And, you know, at the end when we all met up, we all had a prayer moment where we took time and we did unison prayer together. And we were shouting in Korean and Japanese and Spanish and French and every language you could think of. But one thing that I took from that moment is that we all would have made it through. We all would have made it to the other side because of our heart in that moment. We weren't just praying for ourselves. We weren't just crying for ourselves. We were crying for God. Because that's how God felt when True Father had to carry him. God had to carry True Father so many times while watching his son bleed, while watching his son go through all this pain and torture and suffering. And then also watching his daughter go through all these different types of immense conditions, bearing 14 children, some of them being C-sectioned. Yes, C-sectioned. That in that moment, I realized we all would have made it across. Whether we carried someone or not, we all would have made it through. If you go to the next picture. Yes. So after our pilgrimage and also after our sharing time where we were able to reflect on the things that we went to, this is later on in the workshop where we got to experience different blessings from God. One of them being a literal blessing ceremony. Ginny, Angie, I look at you guys. We actually got to go to their blessing ceremony. And after the ceremony, if you go to the next picture, I was able to play Yutnori with True Mother. The only thing with that is that sometimes things don't happen as planned. In other words, I was not supposed to be there. I was actually on the floor wondering where the rest of GTGY was, because I was told that we were going to play Yutnori, but I didn't see anyone down there but me. And so as I'm walking around, I decided to pick up chairs and sweep up the streamers that fell down. And they said, oh, you, international member, go, Tongyo team. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go. So I walked over and they said, oh, you're Tongyo? Okay, here's a shirt. Here, take it. I'm like, okay. So I put on the shirt, like, where's your ticket? I'm like, ticket? Well, what ticket? Like, oh, don't worry about it, just go play. I'm like, okay. So the whole time, I was just there, just being there. And then I was asked to be a game piece. It's very interesting being a game piece surrounded by Koreans who know the game really well. Because sometimes they want you to go this way, someone want you to go this way, someone wants you to go back, so you wind up doing kind of this the whole time. So I decided that for True Mother, I would gladly be a Yutnori game piece. I'll be the best game piece ever. Let's go to the next picture. So the next blessing, as you saw through the video, was we were able to sing in front of True Mother. Yes, that was nerve-wracking. 4 days before this ceremony, I was texted by Koichi, Donovan, and Luke. Hey, how are you doing? Are you in Korea? I'm like, yeah, I'm in Korea. Great, we need you. I'm like, oh, okay, what for? Then they sent me a list, the song in Korean. They sent me the dance. Then they asked me for my measurements. I'm like, okay, I have 4 days. I can do this. So I had to learn the song in 3 days, send my measurement in 1 day. And then the day of, I got my handbook. So that was nerve-wracking. And I learned the song, but then also I wasn't told that there was going to be a dance. So I had to learn the dance the day of. So the day of, I had to learn the dance, and thank goodness that song was in English, or else I'd just sit out, I'd been butchered. And then on the same day, I got a text from Koichi saying, hey, how's your Korean? I'm like, it's improving. He's like, great, write a speech for True Mother. What? Write a what? They told me to write a speech for True Mother. So I had to write that speech, get it translated, and make sure that it sounded appropriate, because you can't just say ya or yo in front of True Mother. You have to be more respectful. So that took a lot of my nerves. And then the day of, when they finally got to it, we walked out and we were ready to go. And our director, Steve Honey, was there, and he's like, okay, you're going to say Chayot and Kyungbei, and I was going to Kyungbei. I'm like, okay, I got this. And so we walked out, and True Mother was like, right here. And I was like, and so he had to yell, Chayot! I'm like, so he had to do everything, because I just totally blanked out. Then when I got to the speech, I had to read my speech because I didn't rehearse it. And I messed up a line, and the whole room laughed. So I felt pretty bad, but when I looked up, I saw True Mother was laughing too, so I'm like, oh, it wasn't so bad. That's okay. She laughs, I'm okay. And then we were able to sing and dance in front of True Mother, and that was one of the biggest blessings of this workshop. So at the end, we received our certificate saying that we completed it, and True Mother had signed it. There's one more picture, if you can go to it, please. Yeah, my family in the corner there, we received our picture. This is mostly my family, sorry. But we received our certificate, and True Mother has signed it for us, and she stamped it with her stamp of approval. You are done. You can now be a leader. And after that, ever since, I've just been happy. Like, everyone asks me, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling happy, I'm excited. Like, why? I'm like, GGGY! That's why I'm excited. So I'm really grateful to True Mother, because she was actually sponsoring all Western members who wanted to go to this. All we had to do was pay for our flight. And although my flight was ridiculously long, it took me forever to get there. But I'm so grateful that she was able to do this for us. And if those of you who are looking into it next time, I recommend it. It's challenging, it's hard, it's tough, but you get a deeper understanding of True Parent's heart. You get a deeper understanding of God's heart. And you just leave with so many wonderful memories and thousands of pictures. And just blessings, all the blessings you could possibly imagine. So thank you for your time.